The former CEO Carlos Tavares canceled Dodge projects under wraps, such as this one right here.
Embracing the brand's history while looking to the future.
So is this what my dear friend Tim Kuniskis, the former CEO of Dodge, was talking about in this clip right here?
CEO, he burned our boats, and we're forced to make the tough calls.
While the new Dodge Charger is huge and quite an expensive option for the brotherhood, what if I told you that this car under the wraps could be a smaller and cheaper option missing in Dodge's lineup? But what if I told you that this car could be a potential challenger to the Mustang? If you've been watching my channel for the last couple of years, you know I love a good deal. Whether it's saving $1,000 on Ram TRXs or Hellcats or helping you guys save money on your Demon 170s from all these dealer shenanigans, I love good deals. And there's no better deal that I can figure out online than with my buddies at Just Bought Ons and DragRacingWheels.com, where you can use my promo code BUTTER at checkout to save up to an additional 15% off on your next order. So check out my friends at Just Bought On and DragRacingWheels.com, where some of the best prices online just got a little bit better. Now, my dear friend Tim Kuniskis has hinted that they wanted to pull the covers off multiple cars coming to Dodge, especially during the last call event in Las Vegas when they revealed the Demon 170.
We haven't fully pulled back the curtain on this car, or maybe these cars, just yet.
But it all started for me back a few years before that when you look at EV Day, when Tim Kuniskis showed this right here.
Embracing the brand's history while looking to the future.
If you look at the vehicle under the covers and the vehicle shown at the teaser at the end of the video, they don't necessarily look alike from what I can tell from the little front images from these two vehicles. And it does not look like the Charger Daytona or the six-pack Charger cars that are now coming in the next few months. Now, word around the campfire of over 38,000 friends and the 69% of you guys nice subscribe, that model right there was just a clay model, but a clay model of exactly what? Is it supposed to be a clay model of a Charger or a clay model of something entirely different? If you look at Dodge's current lineup, it is looking a lot like Chrysler, very bare bones. You got a huge Charger, a small Hornet, and a medium-sized Durango. Not a lot of options for a very popular brand. They used to have minivans, darts, neons, Vipers, and pickup trucks. It would be nice to have a smaller and more economic car back into Dodge's lineup. I fully believe that a base Charger six-pack car, the one with the 420 horsepower Hurricane engine, will be in the mid $40,000 range, since there is no budget engine options going to be available for that particular car.
Oh yeah, that wasn't the sound of the Fratsonic chamber in the Banshee. That was the scream of the most power-dense internal combustion engine Dodge has ever installed in a muscle car. In 2025, the all-new Charger will also be available as a six-pack. Standard output hits the streets with 420 horsepower.
Now, the cheapest Ram truck that has a budget Hurricane engine in there is literally in the exact same price category of the mid $40,000 range, and that is a very good indicator of where the actual Charger Daytona six-pack is going to fall in. Now, you fast forward to last year, and I was talking to someone about this car in particular, and my dear friend Tim Kuniskis, he said they did not raise the covers of different cars.
We haven't fully pulled back the curtain on this car, or maybe these cars, just yet.
And this particular car right here is still MIA.
Embracing the brand's history while looking to the future.
And then this right here happened.
CEO, he burned our boats, and we're forced to make the tough calls.
So what exactly did the former CEO Carlos Tavares burn the boat on? Was it canceling the Hemi engines? Or could it have been the expansion of Dodge with a blue-collar model to make the brand more affordable? Because the Dodge CEO at that time, he understood that the Charger was going to cost a lot of money and he needed a lower price option to bring customers into the door of Dodge.
Kind of ironic, really, that a brand that's known for making so much smoke is taking transparency so seriously to make sure everyone is taken care of. If that wasn't enough, and you're really paying attention, and you're really quick with the math, and you paid attention to the cars outside.
And he still knew that the Brotherhood wanted to have fun vehicles back, especially when he sees that the Hornet has been a big swing and a miss.
This is the Hornet GLH from Direct Connection, and my new best little friend. This thing is a blast.
Honestly, to me right now, the Hornet and the Charger Daytona, they should be rebadged as Chrysler vehicles and get them out of Dodge, but that's just me. But now that Stellantis CEO Carlos Tavares is gone, will this mysterious car under the wraps actually make a return? Will it actually get made? And this is where I think it is an active development, because let's check out this article right here by Mopar Insiders. The next generation Alfa Romeo Giulia to embrace a hatchback design, a more practical approach inspired by the Charger Daytona. And I think that this car under the covers will be platform shared between Dodge and Alfa Romeo. The Dodge Hornet and the Alfa Romeo Tonale are already shared between Dodge and Alfa Romeo, so why not share a car?
And we had to make a decision where we were going to go with the platforms. We had to decide, are we going to go and move the Charger and Challenger onto the Giulia platform, the Giorgio platform? And on the Giorgio platform, we would have ended up with a car that, quite frankly, would have been lighter, would have handled better. It would have done a lot of the things that people said that we were kind of laggards to the competition on. But we looked at it and we said, we can do that, but if we do that, we're going to go and compete head on with the Mustang and the Camaro. Why would we want to go fight with them in their sandbox? Let's stay in our sandbox and be totally different from them and go left when they're going right and try to own this space. When we looked at Hornet, we had the opportunity to share with the upcoming Tonale. If I can take something that is already really cool and fit it into the brand and give it the brand DNA, give it the look, give it the driving dynamics, give it the steering, give it the suspension, give it the exhaust, give it the power, and give it the ability for customization, which is key to this brand, then I can make this thing fit into this space.
Not too many brands within Stellantis are making cars, and this would be perfect for Dodge in this market. If you read this part of the article, both the new Giulia and the Charger Daytona will be built on Stellantis' Stella Large platform, but the Alfa Romeo will be positioned in the D segment, making it smaller and more agile than the full-size Charger. Now, this size difference makes the hatchback design even more beneficial, giving the Giulia the extra versatility without compromising its signature handling and performance. If you are wondering what a D-segment vehicle is, you think of vehicles like the BMW 3 Series, the Tesla Model 3, a Camry, an Accord, and of course, the Mustang. Now, Dodge could be making a direct competitor to the Mustang. Now, I'm hoping this car will have options in the $30,000 to $40,000 range price-wise, and it would not be too far-fetched for that to happen, because the cheapest Honda right now, Accord, is around $28,000 and it has a 190 horsepower engine. So if Dodge keeps this new car within that price range, maybe start off at $30,000 or $29,000, whatever, they can put that Hurricane Evo 4 engine in there. It's basically a 4-cylinder, and it'll make about 250-ish horsepower. And then potentially they could fit maybe the 420 horsepower inline 6 Hurricane engine in there and make that for an SRT model.
Oh yeah, that wasn't the sound of the Fratsonic chamber in the Banshee with the twin turbo Hurricane.
Standard output hits the streets with 420 horsepower, and the HO spins the dyno to 550 horsepower. Twin turbos that perform like they're constantly spooled. And a driveline that houses an 8-speed transmission and an all-wheel drive system standard.
Or perhaps go directly for the Mustang GT, or not the GT, but actual Dark Horse, and put in the 550 horsepower Hurricane engine in that particular vehicle to be a direct competitor, because they'll have a 50 horsepower advantage on top of the Mustang Dark Horse.
Next, the manual lives. It starts with the most powerful Coyote ever, targeting 500 horsepower. 500 horsepower!
Producing 1,025 horsepower and 945 pound-feet of torque. It got us another letter from the NHRA. Yeah, banned again.
That is mated with a tried and true manual transmission from Tremec.
Now, this does sound like a good idea to me, to make a smaller Charger, potentially all-wheel drive or maybe rear-wheel drive, have Hurricane options in there. It'll be lighter, it'll be cheaper, and it could potentially share parts with the Charger in order to cut down on parts costs. to make the car even more cheaper. And then with it being built on a Stellantis platform, there's a variety of locations that this car could actually be made at. Just thinking on top of my head, they can probably put it at Windsor if they wanted to, alongside the Charger, the unnamed Chrysler vehicle that's supposed to replace the 300, the Pacifica, and Windsor actually just lost getting the Durango, the next generation Durango. So maybe this brand new baby Challenger can take its place at Windsor. It can go down to Mexico, where they're actually making the Wagoneer S and the Recon's being built down there. It could go to Belvedere to be made alongside the new Ram midsize truck, or it can go to maybe the Detroit Assembly Complex, either Mack or Jefferson, where they make the actual the Durango and the Grand Cherokee over there. Making this vehicle in America could avoid any issues with tariffs. Or if tariffs aren't an issue, they can make it in Europe alongside the Alfa Romeo Giulia and just import it back to America along with the Hornet on the same boat. There are plenty of options to go here to where they can make this vehicle at, but it does make perfect financial sense for Dodge to launch a smaller version of a Charger, make it inspired by the Charger, share some parts with the Charger, and that could be a big seller here in the North American market, as long as it's cheaper. It gotta be cheaper than the 45 grand I think that the Charger is gonna be. And they keep the car around $30,000 base and keep basically the Alfa Romeo version of this car over there in Europe, and potentially make this new car over here American based and call it the Challenger, make it mid-size and make it compete with the Mustang. I think Dodge has a winner here. If people will be upset that the Challenger is gonna be smaller, in the past, the Challenger was basically a pony-sized car that competed directly with the Mustang, and the Charger sat on top of the lineup as a bigger full-size car. So we have history here of this happening before in the past. So I'm just saying. But let me know what you guys think. Could this new mystery car be a baby Challenger who is mid-sized to directly take on the Ford Mustang? Would you guys be interested in seeing this? Or should Dodge call this vehicle another name out of their legendary lineup of names? Or should they just stick with the Charger and don't bring back a mid-sized car? Let me know what you guys think. And until the next time, I'm out.